No, I don't really push being a top trainer. I just like to have a little fun, And my little circuit of people, every end of the year, they're all happy and stuff. And
Finally caught up with Randy Thompson. Been trying for years to catch up with you for so many years, man. You keep eluding me. What's going on?
it's all good, you know what I mean? At least we come together now so we can have a chat, finally.
But you notice the last time that I posted a video, I say you're one of the cleverest trainers I've ever met. And trust me, I've been watching you for a long time. You know, ever since you were probably maybe like 10, 15 years ago when you were working with Barb.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time, right?
15 years ago, yeah.
So imagine how long I was watching you.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that experience, man.
Working with Barb?
Yeah.
Well, she's sharp, you know what I mean? And she said, you would know when you have a good horse. You would start to see a lot of people coming around, as in agents and stuff. And it don't take much to train the good horse. Most of them train yourself is just maintaining them now and make sure that day by day they're eating good, temperatures are good, the basic stuff, and that's about it.
You know, I mentioned Barb because I wanted to peel back a little bit because, you know, that's part of your history, right? And, you know, when you made that transition from being, were you a groom at that time?
I was her assistant, you know what I mean, at that time. Before that, I worked with Catherine there and breaking a lot of horses and stuff. You know what I mean? It was part of breaking $1 million winner jambalaya. Me and Carl DeFreer to support her farm.
Are you serious? You're part of Jambalaya?
I
I didn't know that.
we broke it in, me and Carl as a yearling, yeah. Me and
Carl too?
Me and Carl DeFreer us.
I definitely got to speak with Carl for sure.
Yeah, and the following year she had a bit of gold for the Queen Split. She just got beat. I was with her in 2004, 2005 in Ocala. We started the preparation of those horses, you know. I was around a lot of good people. Had Danny Callahan before that. Danny Callahan. And before that was Kevin and Tino.
Kevin and Tard?
Yeah. He brought me to Canada 2000 October. Then he tried to get me to New York. But the paperwork it didn't go through as fast as we thought it was. So I came back and I was there back early 2001 to start it off. And we had a really good year. We had a horse, Bash and Bully. Our same year, came third in the Queen's Stakes. And then we started up Milwaukee Brew the Stallion.
Milwaukee Brew, I remember that horse.
We started him up and Dorado, Dave Griffith, my good friend, Peter Brown. Dave is rated more than all of us. And then one morning I got a chance to work Loretta next to Milwaukee Brew, and me and Larry Attard, we had that breeze together, you know what I mean? So that was something I'll remember too. I'm galloping in those days. And I worked with Steve Owens as well. I'd head Chopper the Stallion too. Mm-hmm. We did really good. Emma in Bluffing, we win like 4 straight with her. And then I met Bev Chubb, who was like a mother to me. You know, I always had my little ups and downs when it comes to these relationships and things. But she was always someone there for me. I could have go anytime in the day and night. And she left out for me, you know. She helped me got my family back together. In good ways, you know, but
I feel like if there's a lot of mystery within you because you seem really, really young, but yet there's so much history and so much experience you've had over the period of time. Like, you know, I spoke with the Trini guy, Grady, and then I speak with so many other people, and your name always come up. Like, how old were you when you started messing with the horses, man?
Seriously, it was about 10 and a half, 11 years old. Right here on this beach, as we look back, you know what I mean? Akron Beach, we had a horse. And on evenings, we would bring it up at the beach, and not me, my mom wouldn't let me ride.
Mhm.
And one day I said, let me take it for a walk and turn around or gallop down the beach with me flying. Best feeling ever. And then I started to ride more and more, learn to ride. And then my good friend, Ricky Sargent, Sean Ruboy Sargent, he said, man, I'm going to take you to this farm and you can get going. That was back in 1988 or so, you know. And I started learning to ride with Slade. Slade was
Slade
my mentor.
Callahan.
Slade Callahan was my mentor.
Hmm.
Taught me to ride, taught me to drive, everything. Wherever you see Slade, you see me. I was somebody.
Wow.
And then Slade, he went to Canada and he leave me at a young age to help run the farm. That time we had cows, sheep, everything. I would transport the sheep every week. We had a contract for sheep every week to Big B
Hmm.
at the time, you know. And I was ahead to do that. I dragged the stallions all around, jump mirrors. And then he came back and by then I had a kid. So we make some negotiations and you know what? It didn't work out in my favor. So I couldn't stand for it. I move on. Went to the track, started galloping, and then one morning my good friend Darren Fortune, he come out, he and Safi was bringing in horses, Safi Sr, and he's like, yeah, Randy, you can get on this horse.
Hmm.
I was like, okay. And then by the time I got back in, he said, I heard you can drive too. I said, okay, well, I can drive. I take the job as a driver and a rider and a groom all to one. Meet Grady and all of us together. Me and Grady.
Did you meet Grady here, or you met him in Trinidad?
I met him here, like, and Safi gave me the job that day. Grady was the one of the top drivers, always a top driver. And showed me a couple of things, and me and Grady was the two drivers. So we bring at least 20 horses back and forth to the track, 2 trips. I had one van, Grady had the other van, then Safi Sr., he drove one of the vans as well, and that was a really big organization. Saffie Jr. now was a young kid in the yard, curious about everything. You know, so we mentor him up. You know, he listen, he's so proud of him right now.
Was he a problem when he was a little child, or was he
just curious?
just
you know what I mean? Everything he used to see, he was sharp. He used to see everything, horse, everything. You know, like I remember, like I won the Gold Cup for his dad. That's back in 1999. Horse called Peace and Voy, and I had a car. I drove my other car in the yard, and I saw this buddy walking at the yard, and it was him. Oh, dad, Randy got a new car. Then his dad come and say, oh, Randy, why you bring this piece of rust in my yard? Go and take my kid on Monday and pick any car you want at the dealership, any car you want. So said, so done. I went. And like,
was that for you? You mean like
yeah,
for you?
Yeah.
Man.
You say whatever car you want, you take Ati and he give you what. Yeah, and I went and I got a Mazda 323 fully loaded.
Now I'm starting to see why the bond is so tight with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, he shared a lot of moments, you know what I mean? Like, every night he would come out to dad, he's like, man, I got a wife and 2 kids, man. They want to know why I like you so much. I like you more than them. I said, well, you know, we like horses like each other. We always there late, we discuss horses. Then we had a lot of history, man. We had bombs, as you say. Bombs. Remember one time we had a horse, Midnight Tornado. No form whatsoever, but he had the back class.
Was that here in Barbados?
Yeah. And the Henneken Sticks was coming, the Smiths, everybody was coming. And I said, listen, man, just meet me 2 o'clock after work. We sit, we bring the horse in the field. We sit, we monitor the horse. And so it said, so done, you know what I mean? There was a little negotiation with Safi and Patrick. Patrick acted like if he could have ride the whole field, but you know how he goes.
I don't know. You probably will have to tell me.
Yeah, Patrick is cheeky like that, you know. Patrick like to pull your leg and stuff. You know, act like if he could ride every horse in the race, you know, but at the end of the day, he rode Midnight Tornado. We won the race. We beat Making It Happen, came in from Canada. And I was purchased by the Smiths from Brad Johnson. We had a whole big load in there. Incitatus. All of them was in there.
Incitatus was in that race too.
We beat them. Yeah.
That's a Hall of Fame horse now, right?
Horse called Shunt was in there. That's the grand dam of a top horse, non-star. Yeah, we paid $56 and that was a crazy day.
Here in Barbados.
Yeah. And it was a big day and Patrick won. And I remember just watching the race with Safi, and as the fastest time for the first time, his dad is like, oh my God, he's bullshitting me now. What is he doing? And when we turn for home and he kick again, he look and say, Patrick, he's the maestro. He's the best. And we all went out there running. I remember ripping my shirt open. Me, Darren, Grady, all of us coming down. And then picture, it was a good day, you know. But
you know something, Randy? I'm starting to find out that like the horse people relationship is really tight. Like people may not always get along, but people know each other. The history goes way back. Like you mentioned Darren, and I remember as a little boy playing tag or catch or whatever, catcher with Darren up in Haynesville, right? But you know, he moved on to Toronto, to Canada, and forgot about him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like those relationships, and now
he was
him and
really my
Safi
good friend.
and all
He
this
was
stuff,
my good
you know?
friend when I first came. He lived just down the street from me in Malton, and he picked me up every morning. And you know, we go up the road to Woodbine, and always every Tuesday we go and get Toonie Tuesday together.
Toonie Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is that chicken?
Yeah,
KFC.
Yeah, and then I remember his daughter Kaylin was now born, and he was raising her by himself, and I would go over there on evening with him. And, yeah, it's a lot of history.
A lot of history, man.
Yeah.
So moving, you know, like okay, so you work with all these people, and then you decided you want to take your trainer's license out.
Well, I have my trainer's license from Barbados, right?
Mhm.
And then I was assistant, you know, here and there, and I always own the odd horse and stuff, and then I just got my trainer's license, and I used to gallop for guys, and then go and deal with my one horse gallop. And then I built a relationship with a owner that was previously with Barb. I met him when I was by Barb, and he offered me to train a couple backyard race horses, as I would say. I call them backyard horses because he owned his mom and the dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's not Vince Star. You know what I mean? He's not a big.
So he bred them in his backyard and tried to do something with them.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Happily, I happened to get them to the races, and she did well. Horse called Nadia Business.
Right.
And then from then, the next year we claimed another horse, Inscrutable. She ran really good for me. Patrick never tell me drop the horse, so I know she had something in her. So I know the next year I was coming back with a better value horse. Right. Come back, I won with her early, sold her right away. I got a call the owner, good price, we sold her. And then we was managed now to claim a better horse. It was Willie and his dad. We got Destiny Row, we got Lucky.
Destiny Row.
So every year now I'm going back to upgrade.
Right.
And then at the end, I also work at Ajax Dunks too. Not to say.
But you're a hustler though.
I'm one of the officials.
Oh, you're one of the officials?
The official is anybody that's
involved.
Drive the gate and you know what I mean?
Okay. I'm glad you explained that.
Drive the gates, I sell half the field. If they stuck for a pony ride, I jump on. And then I go in the gate and head a horse. Just like my good friend Ronaldo. You know, Ronaldo is a true horseman, the same way. You know,
Ajax don't get a lot of love, well, I guess that it should, but do you see them, I don't know, expanding in the future?
They're trying to grow more and more, you know what I mean? People don't really see it, I don't know, but it's good entertainment. It's good entertainment. I call it, I go and play golf when I go up there. I like the rush.
Well, you know, I've heard many times from several people that Randy is a sneaky kind of trainer. Do you consider yourself a sneaky kind of trainer?
Well, it's something called the condition book, you know what I mean? So you gotta go with the condition book. You can only run where you belong, and the way North America set it up, they only show you so much, so you don't know what's gonna happen after. So you gotta nurse your horse and tell yourself from the beginning, I gotta run him 8 times this year, and this is how I'm gonna go about it. Because there's a condition in Northern there's a tree that you don't go. When you win tree and you're not stake horse, it's stuck.
Right.
10,000 on tree don't go, this don't go. So you gotta race for your horse.
You know, there's some trainers who have high expectation, like, you know, they want to be the top trainer for the track. There's trainers who want to win all the state races. What kind of trainer is Randy Thompson?
Well, you see these horses behind you? Those blue trains,
Right.
those blue horses.
Right, the blue and
This
yellow.
these is all my horses that I got. So when I in Canada, I don't need much more. So
Right.
less is more, you know. I was born blessed. This is a family operation, as you can see behind me, and I'm just me and a sister. I don't got brothers, small family. And one day I gotta carry on these horses. So
So
these horses are more important to me, really.
this slick operation here
Yeah.
is
So
very important to the
yeah,
family.
Yeah. So I don't try to get too much horses. I
Well,
just limited it, you know. I can advertise, I can, but what are you gonna do at the end of the day if I get a phone call, you know? Because I see Canada's a real life for me because it's more racing than horsing, but this is a phone call away. If mom says yeah, dad say yeah, I gotta leave.
right,
You know?
very important.
So, yeah, so expanding, and my owners that I got there understand who I am, and I'm there and just keeping them happy too with the little small barn horses, feeding for themselves, selling horses. But I don't need to go 100 plats and do this, and you know, I don't want. As Safi would tell me, are you the head of the labor department? I don't want to be that far. I just want a couple workers, and that's it.
Do you set expectations really high, or do you kind of balance it and make sure that you can meet those expectations when it comes to horses and horse racing?
No, the horse can do the talking. So each horse I got, I know the value of it, and that horse can talk. When I get another horse, I know what I can do, and then I will point to suit. Like right now, I go back to Canada. I got a filly. She loved the grass. Last race she ran, Polly, was a really good race. She's eligible for a nice starter now, so I know that's her race. I got an Ontario side filly. She's a maiden, 1-4. Sorry, she's a maiden, 4 seconds. My expectation for sure she's gonna win.
Right.
So from there, I might go in an Ontario side race, but my ROI, like return on investment on the value of horses that I got, I'm cruising because I buy $3,000 horse, $15 horse, and they all do good for me. So they don't gotta do too much to get everybody happy. But when a guy going buy a horse for 40,000, 60,000, they gotta try to win
You have to.
$100,000
The expectation is much higher.
to get back what they spent.
I see. You got you.
For me, I can run any race because one guy breed it, you get claim, you get the breeder's premium still. Next horse, I buy for 4,000. He ran fourth. He paid for himself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So I got a free horse already, and then go from there.
Is that important? Is that important to have, like, you're as a trainer, but you have 1 or 2 horses that you own?
You know what? Trainer don't really need to own horses. You know what I'm saying? 30% should be enough as a trainer. But the owners gotta understand that it costs money, you know.
Right.
And every year everything is going up, and there's a lot of stuff that horses need. People go to a lot of vets and do vet work and this and that, but there's a lot of things in the tack shop that you could go and get and put together that is just as good as a vet work. And time, you know, horses need time.
That's right.
You gotta give them time.
But, you know, the pressure in North America is a little bit harder because, you know, people, you only have a certain span and people want to win, especially, you know, like you just said, like if you invest lots of money in a horse, they want to return, and they want it quickly.
Went right away, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like four fights at 20. Two times at 20. 20 by 1 is 20.
Same thing, same result.
So if you want to do add up, bum, 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 till you get to 20, or you want all one time.
Right.
I like that piece and get it. Everybody want it one time.
But you know, in North America, that's not how it works. Like, people want it right now.
That them. That's why I survive. Because I prefer to whap, add it up. And if I get lucky, bonus. It happens sooner than later.
Right. You know, horse racing has taken you a lot of places. You know, you've seen you popped up in some big moments, and seen you, you know, travel with a horse to Dubai, one of Safi's horses. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience and what you saw once you got down there?
When I get there, I realized it was it's business, you know what I mean? It's no skylarky, you know, Mickey Mouse. Everybody was up early, on time, punctual, good walk to the track. So it shows you that things that are accessible to you are overused more than what you really need. Because, like for instance, at Woodbine, a barn might be close to the sand ring, and the training track, everybody goes most of the time to the closest track to them because it's easy access. In Dubai, there's one track to train. It's 45 minutes away.
45 minutes away?
Yeah, so you got to wake up and walk.
You mean by walking, or are you talking about
with a horse? You got to walk
with the horse that long?
Walk to the track.
Wow.
On race day, the trailer takes you. They pick you up and drive you there. Wow. So it shows you that everything that's close, easy access is overused. You gotta use what is suited for you, really and truly. You know what I mean? Like, you know that's the track. He's gonna run over that track. Let him learn that track, and you go from there.
Yeah, that's. I didn't expect that, actually. That seemed like a pretty far distance.
It's a hike, man.
Yeah,
you gotta got your water bottle with him when you get back. Wow. But no, everything's in place. You come back, it's like always got enough bedding. You always got water. You come out, there's a guy there waiting to clean your stall. You go to the wash bay, there's a guy waiting to hold the horse, to bathe it. You know, it's so much hands. It's like a factory thing now, man.
So it's strictly business.
It's strictly business. You see the Japanese, those guys are up, and I see why they're getting so much success. But the guys don't play. They're up early, and there's a whole team.
Is that, no, you know, tell me a little bit about that, because I mean, like, coming from Barbados and then to Toronto, which is a little bit higher pace, but now you went to Dubai and you see it's all business, boom, 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 boom. Right? Did you learn anything from that, or you know, does it give you an edge, or what does it do for you mentally? How do you see the business of horse racing?
What it do for me mentally, you know what I mean? You gotta be on time. You gotta be punctual as usual. You know, you gotta get your rest. You know, you can't be partying and think you're dealing with horses. You need your rest to be up to do your work, you know. But it wasn't a big difference. But you know, them guys in Dubai, like, they elaborate cape and everything.
Right.
Got big this and that. And got the food there waiting for you to eat when you finish. That's a good thing, you know what I mean? At least they take care of the health when you finish work. They feed you at night, they feed you in the day, but that's them, you know.
So it's not only for camera. They actually take care of the people there once they're there.
Yeah, everything is free, you know what I mean? You can stay in any hotel you want, and there's a bus waiting to bring you to work. Up top, there's disco, whatever, but if you're on to work, you ain't going to party, you know? But they take care of you, they invite you to a lot of functions. You get, like, vouchers to go to parties, and every morning there's breakfast for everybody there free in the lobby. At night, you're going on this free, there's food there waiting. Well, that is how they are. They just, as I say, they want to be Americanized, you know. They're pushing it.
Oh, I didn't think they wanted to be Americanized. I just thought they wanted to be better than America. But I guess
no, they want Americanized, you know, because at the day, you look in the sky, it's still dusty during the day. It's still a desert.
It's still the desert.
It's still a desert, man.
Water is still the most important thing.
You got one eye is shut. You can't squinting, man. But it was nice to be there, you know what I mean? Whole crowd and everything. I walked between everybody, and it was good.
I want to ask you a real question here. Do you have to be a good person or a nice person in horse racing, or do you have to be a certain kind of person in horse racing to succeed and be successful at what you do?
First of all, when you start horse
Oh, that's
racing,
yours.
you start horse racing, you gotta find a godfather. As a young person, you gotta got a godfather, meaning like an older person that can show you the ropes, and then he believe in you.
Right.
And once you get the godfather, the trust from the older horse person, he will speak for you, and that's it. You gotta find a godfather.
So, so explain that. So you mean like a source, someone who is interested in the horses, someone who can support horse racing, give you that little bit of push.
Yeah, you go to the track and there's a well-known person, whatever. Well, whoever is there before you knows a lot before you. You know, so when you meet up with someone and you hang out with them, they teach you and they be like your mentor. You know, you stick in there with them and just listen. You know, and they will look out for you. They will put you, so they could talk to another person and put you. So that's why when a jockey comes to a track, he don't know nobody. He get an agent.
Right.
Who's the agent?
Right.
The agent knows everybody. So the agent go to someone he knows and say, take care of him, you get the ride.
Right.
You understand? So that's it. So like in jockey term, to get an agent, the agent look up for you. In groom and stuff, you go and listen to a little mentor, like we call ourselves like weights. All the guy, he shows you what's going on and you just listen and it will happen. Find a godfather.
I mean, you've been around Woodbine for a long time. The change, you've seen a lot of changes. Do you see other changes happening right now? And where do you see yourself within those changes at Woodbine? Because, you know, there's new trainers coming in. You know, there's people, more trainers getting older. You have Roger Atfi, who's like 80 something,
good.
almost 90 years old now. And he's one of the Hall of Famers. Where do you see yourself within that? You still just the clever trainer, or do you plan on trying to be one of the top trainers for the future?
No, I don't really push being a top trainer. I just like to have a little fun, you know. And my little circuit of people, every end of the year they're all happy and stuff. And if I build and I get a couple, well, so be. But as I say, I'm born blessed. These are my horses I got already.
That's right.
I got to take care of these horses. I can't run and leave these in the paddock, you know. It just happened to be that way.
All right, that's good enough. And good enough for me. It seems like a really decent way.
Yeah.
But tell me about the Gold Cup this year and your connection. People see you in the winner's circle, and we know Saffie Joseph Jr. trained the horse. But what part did you play with this horse and winning the Gold Cup?
Well, it was just respect to Safi, you know what I mean? He called me, he told me if I was in town. I told him I was around, and at the same time, a week ago we were planning to go over to Saudi Arabia, and I was in the process of getting my visa ready.
Right.
So we was going to take a horse over for the Saudi
That's
Cup.
not happening anymore?
But no, that's gone. That was the Saudi Cup.
Oh, they want this finished. Okay.
It didn't work out, and he said, well, okay, well, you're around for the Gold Cup, you stick around, and you always be my other eye, you know. I can't make it, so you help with these horses. Robert gonna be there. You sit tight, and we get it done.
And you did get it done.
It happened as a team, you know. We got it happen.
But
Because I know his program, so it's not much. You know, when I know how he likes stuff done. You know what I mean? And Robert was there. Robert starting to learn the routine, and everything happened exactly how we wanted it.
I've always heard from people who's been close to Safi is that, you know, Safi is strictly business. He wants things done precisely. He's ABC. Everything must fit in the slots. Is that your assessment of him, the little young Bubba running around the yard?
Well, that's what he want, but I was never a yes man, you know. So if I see something, even if he wanted, I would then tell him, listen, really and truly, this is what I see. I would give him my opinion on it. And sometimes he swerve in my direction,
Right.
you know? But it's his operation.
That's right.
His dad always told him, there's things Randy gonna see that you might not see. So, you know, by any day, Bubba operation now. I follow Bubba rules and I do what he want. But I'm not scared to tell him when I see something going the wrong way.
And is that an easy transition when you have to say, hey, look, Safi, you know, you see things differently? How do you guys work that out as, you know, partners or
It's
whatever,
really
you
easy,
know?
really
Really easy.
He don't know if I'm his dad. He don't know if I'm his big brother. He don't know who I'm is to him.
Right.
Seriously. Remember, like back there was a storm in big hurricane in Miami, Florida,
Right.
and he picked up the friggin' he picked up himself and he called me. He coming to Toronto, and he flew there. He was like 17 years old, and we party, we do everything, you know. He had a good time, and we even go missing.
What do you
Till
mean
his
missing? You want to explain that?
He go missing till his auntie would call me. Randy, you see Bubba? I said, well, I'm gonna go and check on him, but he's good. Like I know the whole family.
Yeah.
I was amongst the family.
So I guess right now, like you guys see him how he's grown, right? Like, you know, you're in Toronto, in Canada. He's in America, and you see now how he has grown. How does everyone feel towards that? Everyone proud of him, and you know, they're happy for him. The Breeders' Cup race he just won the other day.
The thing is with him, he put in the time. You know what I mean? He put in the time, so he must get results. It must happen. You know, like the odd time he got stuck, like a couple years ago, he sent me a couple horses, short term, 4 or 5 days. I follow the instructions, I do my thing, it worked out. I love doing that. He got stuck in West Virginia. Call me, Randy, could you go? I go. I saddle Skippy Longstockings, we run the West Virginia Derby. You know, things like that. The year before we had Math Wizard. Horse ran 6. After the race, I told him, listen, man, you got a really, really good horse here.
Was that the one that won in Philadelphia?
Yeah. I said, listen, man, you got a really, really good horse. This horse needs to be next to you or your dad, no one else. See, that's what you're saying. I said, well, because it's the girl that's with this horse. It's just too much horse for her knowledge right now. So said, so done. Horse went back to Gulfstream and put him on this program again. And the next race was a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Derby, and he won, right?
Yeah.
But he listens, you know what I mean? Like, but it's how you say it to people. You don't have to do it, but you give it a little thought and you go about it.
So what do we expect now this year from Randy Thompson at Woodbine? You got a few horses. Can we always expect that shocker from you? I remember that time when you won that first stake race. That was pretty cool, actually. We were really excited. Fans, people who knew you, we were really excited for you.
That was a lot of horse. I remember that horse, really good, Marjorie's Dream. I bought the sister 14 days in a sale, $1,500. After the sale, they called my ex-wife, and at first, the breeder said they got the 2-year-old to that horse. Marjorie's Dream. She showed me the picture, big, tall, long horse, full of mad Russian stuff, you know what I mean? At the time when I said, no way, we need that horse. She bought the horse and put her together. One morning first time this chat opened up, I saw Patrick and I called him and I tell him, I find the real deal.
Just like that.
I find the real deal. And he said, you serious, Randy? I said, I find the real deal. He said, okay. But with him breezing horses, getting them ready for Cassie and Josie Carl, big outfits, he couldn't really fit me in on the weekend works. So on the weekend, I wanted to work the horse and I put Kazushi on the horse. Daisuke on the horse.
Daisuke.
When Daisuke came in, he said, I'm searching for a horse like this all my life. Those
Nice
words.
kid said that.
I was searching for a horse like this all my life. Put her in a race with Zyske. Ran fifth, really good fifth. Changed her lead late and she closed. Then it happened now. Next time he was to breeze it, the agent came and said, well, he got a bigger barn to work for. Because he wants Zyske to. I said, okay. I find a way now to get Patrick on the horse, but I could even get him to breeze it. Race day come, Patrick rode the horse. She took off. He's sick, really quiet. She ran second. Patrick is like, Randy, this horse is a freak. You know? I thought I was just gonna hold on for a check, but she looked like she could have won the whole race. After that race, first day took her out training, brought her back to the barn. A shoe on the trap, clip her on the tendon, give her a big cut on the tendon. I was scared and thought that was the end of her. I ran up the top of my barn and I was in the barn with Ian Howard. I called him quick and said, show him. He's like, you can get this fixed, Randy. That's far from the heart when it comes to you. So I went to work, healed the cut. She was back together again. She broke her maiden with about 6 with Patrick. Then I remember walking into the office and the condition book wasn't out yet. And I asked Scotty, is she eligible for what race is coming up for Marjorie? And he's like, the Normans are 2. I said, you sure? Is she not eligible for the Muskoka? I went to check. He said, yeah, she's eligible. Sorry, not the Muskoka, the Algoma. And he said, yeah.
Algoma Stakes.
And she.
What's that? How many was that? 6 furlong?
7 furlong. 7 furlong. She breaks sharp. Made every yard. Pull off that good filly. That was it.
That was a good feeling.
Walking back though, Patrick was not in the best of mood.
Why?
He told me that's the last race she's gonna run.
So you felt something?
Yeah, she broke down in the race, and you know.
So he's able to understand that. I mean, like Patrick husband, he's able to understand like when a horse is not gonna do something again.
He's a genius.
Yeah,
Horse genius.
I've heard this. I mean, they say he studied horses. Yeah.
Came back and he said she ain't gonna run again. He was like in tears, you know. I went to the interview, had the interview, went back. My ex-wife at the time, you know, we were partners with the horse, and I explained to her. She couldn't understand it really.
Right.
So I depart with her and give her to another trainer. And they tried to get her back, but they never got her back.
Did she run ever again?
No. I wouldn't disclose the trainer name, but they try. Some really good horse people too. They couldn't even get her to train.
Oh wow. Those are some big moments, Randy.
Yeah.
But you know, I want to talk just a little bit more, and then we'll end it. But just talk a little bit more about this year in Barbados at the Gold Cup and the connections coming from, I guess, the Guyanese connection. Or they live in the States?
They live in the States.
Right.
Guyanese connection.
And
they reached out to Safi, and Safi was able to give them like a lease, like a piece of the horse for the race, just for the race, and it came down. I don't really ask that part of the business too much.
This part is not for you.
No,
right.
I sit back. Like Safi, no, we don't even talk much, you know, because he in his zone, and I in my zone. He would just text me and say, well, 2 days from now, do this for him. And I'll be there for him, because I always tell his dad I will be there for him.
Right.
You know? And I like to see the young people getting the jobs I'm going through. Because I could be left Canada already and downstream with him right through. Kentucky Derby with White of Barrier. I give up that. Like today's it's Tampa this weekend now. And Tampa Bay Derby weekend. I could be there with them. You want me to be at all the shows with him? But I just put him there.
I'm always curious of how you guys see Safi. Like, like the little boy running around the
No,
yard.
no, no,
Like,
no. He ain't a little boy
he's
to
not
me.
a little boy no more,
No,
but
no, no. But well, people see me as a little boy too, the same way.
well, you look really young, you know.
Because I can be a little older this year. Every year I get older. But no, I don't. He know who is me, and I know who is him.
Right.
I don't rate my dad a little boy, and this is a little boy.
Right.
You get me? He did good for himself, you know. And his dad was like my dad. If it's his dad, his dad was like his dad when it comes to racing. He showed me a lot. We talk a lot. He showed me you gotta keep looking at the horse, and the horse will talk to you.
Right. Right.
The horses talk to you. Just keep looking at them, and you create the habit of looking at them, and you learn.
Well, it's always good seeing you in the winner's circle, brother. To be honest, and just seeing, you know, you do good things.
Yeah.
You know, it's always good to see someone that you can just sit and chat with, do some really good things, and you know, knowing you working in Toronto and then seeing you in the winner's circle here in Barbados for their biggest day is always important. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be paying a lot more attention to what you do. You know.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? A lot of people know who I am, you know what I mean? But I just don't push it because at the end of the day, you gotta got there. And that is the partner next to you too gotta be understanding what you get up every morning and do too. And throughout the years I find it difficult in relationships, you know what I mean? Trying to let them know the kind of time it takes for horses.
Yeah, that's
so
hard.
that's always be a little tough on me too, right? So I you know what I mean? I just try to explain it with the other half right now, and it's not that easy, right?
Yeah, that's a hard thing. You know, a lot of people always say the same thing when it comes to relationships. You probably need a horse person to be with in order to understand the business of horse racing.
Right now I got 3 children and a granddaughter, so the woman part is just a, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? I don't know all that is about already, you know. Yeah, but you know, it was good having you here with me, and
look at the camera so that people can see your face, man.
I called a couple of people earlier that was really good to me. Barb Mitchell, Kevin III, you know, Danny Callahan, Steve Woods, Lev Chubb, Saffie Sr, Jr, Naz Issa, my boy Naz.
Naz Issa, I keep hearing that name a lot.
That's my man Naz. He's really good to me because some days when I have enough of Safi, I go and I tell him, okay, I go by Naz. And Naz always will look out for me too, you know, as a young kid. Give me my first horse I own, 17 years old. I always want to ride races and stuff, but I know I could have made a big career out of it. So I back off. I was owning horses from young. And Naz always got a horse for me, you know,
nice,
to
nice.
own. So big shout out to Naz. A lot of people think he's a dick, but he's good to me.
Nice,
Straight
pretty
up.
cool.
That's a good man to me. He, Naz, Sia Callahan, Basil Watkins, you know.
And I see you're really grounded here in Barbados too. Like you have your foundation here in Barbados, so you know it's important that people don't forget where they come from.
I can't forget, man, because this is what's holding me together, you know. This is what's holding me together. My mom, dad, everybody, you know. I come from I wasn't bad. Come out to a nice family, everybody like Randy, you know, for some reason.
Randy, nice talking to you this afternoon, man. I really appreciate it though. Seriously.
Yeah.
Respect every time, man.
Okay.
All right.
Peace out.
Yeah, man. They're just gonna